Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the weekly Wednesday Wargaming questions and answers. It's an off-the-cuff video, guys. What that means is I record and upload. There is no fancy editing skills. You won't see my intro at the beginning. I do have a transition button, so if there's outside noise that I can't control, I can stop filming and just wait for it to pass. Or if someone comes and disturbs me, you know, sometimes that happens. These weekly Wednesdays are essentially a Q&A. You guys ask me questions, I answer them. They are primarily model focused, and it's 99% GW stuff, of which it's 99% 40k stuff. There is terrain questions and hobby questions from time to time, and sometimes information about myself and what's going on in the workshop. And there's a weekly vote, which I'll get onto a bit later on. So straight off the bat, what brand of brushes do you use, and how often do you buy them? Now, that's a really good question. Really good question. Okay. I have two brushes here. Okay. I have this studio brush. This is for Art Studio, it's called. These come in a pack. Can't see the pack now at hand. It's like $11.99 for like 20 of them, and they're all flat brushes. Now I use this brush. Sorry, they're flat brushes, but they're all different sizes as well. So I use this brush, this particular one, to take the paint off out of the pot and put it into the wet palette. Or if I'm doing a dry brush, because the bristles are all just fluffed up. Or if I need to base colour something, so that's silver, but it's a big item, I just use this brush just to do it. I have this brush here, which is a layer paint brush from GW, but I got this from Imperial magazine. So those two brushes. Also with the yellow brushes, because they're flat, I have a smaller one. I use that sometimes, smaller one, for edge highlighting, because it's just so simple. But I also have a good brush, like a really fine, brush. Or I try to use that for really fine details. I also have, where are we? I have this dry brush, which is the GW, but again, it's seen better days. But again, it's all the GW brushes I have at the moment are from the Imperial magazine, which those of you that are new to the hobby, or those that didn't get that, when the Combat Patrol magazine comes, you'll get all these brushes as well. I do have a few other bits of brushes, like, I have this brush. I think this is a painting brush, but I use this if I need to dust a model, because it's all fluffy and just really easy to dust a model. Sometimes you have a model sitting there and next thing you know it's got bits of dust on it. This is a makeup brush. I use this for dry brushes sometimes, but the problem is I got this from Primarks or Pennies, whatever you want to call it. They do start to break down and bits come off. These are pretty good for dry brushing. Now, in terms of how often do I buy them, not counting the ones that come from the Imperial magazine, I don't like going and spending lots of money on brushes. I'd rather save the money to buy codexes, index cards, models, paints. But I do need to get myself, I do have the nice brush, and there is a few of them that come in a set, but I do need to get myself a really nice set of brushes. How often do I buy brushes? Probably not as often as I should. Now, for me, when a brush gets to a point where it can no longer be used for painting, like this one here, what is this? This is Games Workshop starter brush. Yes, that's rock solid. I use that for PVA gluing, put PVA on the base. So the brushes don't necessarily disappear, they still get used. I'm not saying that Games Workshop brushes are bad or they're good, or or they're too expensive, or not, but I would rather spend more money buying models and paints and glues and all that sort of stuff than worrying too much about spending too much money on brushes. If I see a brush that's similar to this, okay, the layer brush similar to it, and it's say €2, €3, I'll pick it up. If it's in a little set, I'll pick it up. If there's a set for say €5, but there's one brush that I want, which is like that, I'll pick this up, because our brushes will always be handy. But then it also depends on how much painting you're actually doing. Now at the moment I'm squeezing one painting video a week, which is Monday painting video. Obviously I want to do more, but I have all of this over here to sort out and deal with, as well as stuff on the table to deal with, so I'm not able to get the extra time to do the painting, but I'm getting the extra time to do magnetizing models and doing that sort of stuff. So if you're painting every day, then you'll probably need to change your brushes every month and a half. But the trick that I spoke about last week, which I'll show you again for those of you who missed it, is put your brushes upside down. Okay, so any moisture in the trussel, I think it's called, just comes out. That will prolong your brushes, which is great. And don't overfill your brush with paint, because then it prolongs your life as well. I hope that's answered your question, my friend. What do you prefer more in terms of missions? 9th edition missions or 10th edition missions? See, for me, I like the way that 9th the missions work. This is the mission, and you pick your secondaries, and off you go. But then I also like the idea of drawing secondary missions for 10th every turn. But you can also have fixed. You can also say, right, I'm going to take this one, have them as fixed ones. I do like that, because it throws such a different random dynamic to the game. But I also like the old type of scenarios used to play, like Take and Hold or Last Stand, you know, that type of thing, where you have one mission, and that's just, you know, so like Take and Hold, you'd have an objective in the middle of the table. There'll probably be terrain either side of it, so there's only one way in either end, and whoever holds it at the end of the game wins. You know, that type of thing. I like that. The Last Stand would be one person set up in the middle of the table with an army. The opponent comes in from table edges, and there's an objective in the middle, that the defender's deployment zone, and if the defender holds that by in 10-5, they win the game. If the attacker wipes out the defenders, they win, or if they take the objective, they win. I like those type of, you know, games as well. Very simple, but, you know, I do like the secondary missions and everything like that. But see, with the secondary missions in 9th, if I was playing against you and you had loads of heroes, assassination would be one I take, because I know that, you know, you're going to kill these HQs and start racking points up. But at the same time, saying it in 10th, you can't, unless you're going to, if you're just doing them, picking the cards up, you might get that one with loads of enemy heroes to kill. You might get, I think it's Bring It Down, where you got the vehicles and monsters. You know, it's just, I like all the way they play. I did like the way the detachments worked in 9th. I did like that. That was very, very cool. But then with that said, I do like the way that the heroes work, and the way the heroes attach themselves to units in 10th. Maybe a combination of the both, having a unit, and unit is allowed to have, say, up to 2 heroes attached to them, or this unit is allowed to have 1 hero attached to them. But then certain heroes wouldn't count, could be attached to a unit, but wouldn't count as taking up the hero slot. You know, that type of thing. But yeah, everyone see the data slate update? There was it hasn't come out yet, but there's been lots of information about it, and I was correct. What I said about Chaos Space Marines, I was correct. I said it weeks ago, months ago, I can't remember now, but correct. One of the things that's happening with them is you cannot have a unit go into a transport unless they both have the same mark of Chaos. And I said that would happen. And that's in the new data sheet, which it makes sense. There's loads of stuff in there. I think Admech and Necrons didn't get touched, I don't think. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there, so check it out when you get a chance, guys, because it should be coming out soon, and it'll be hitting the app. So if you've got the app, it'll update yourself on there. The Secret Army shall be in a battle report within the next few weeks. We had a little game yesterday, just another test game, and it was an absolute slobber knocker. It was absolutely fantastic. It was well, it was a very, very good game. I can't really reveal anything else because I want to surprise you guys, but it was a very, very good game. You have a Drukhari model. Will you be having a Drukhari army of them? I need to have an army of every faction, really. I know Mark plays Chaos Knights, Leagues, Space Wolves, Drukhari. I know he plays those 4 armies, but I would need to have I want to have an army of everything for the studio. So the idea is eventually for me to have 3 different army lists, roll a d3, and that's the army that I'm playing with. So it's a random army that I'm using every time. Now, in terms of getting it ready for the table, then they're nowhere near. They wouldn't be nowhere near. Them, Gensty the Coles, Admech, Custodes, they're nowhere near ready for the table. I've still got some Drukhari stuff to build from the Piety and Pain box. Even the sisters are not even nowhere near the table yet. But you've still got all those bits and pieces to build. But there, for me, that's an army that I'll get this stuff built, and then maybe once a month, once every 2 months, I'll pick up a unit just to build and add to what I've already got. I want to be in a position with those armies, before I bring anything else in, to have those ones painted up. So then, you know, like with the Orcs, I've got the Storm Boys now built. But in the Orc army, the Storm Boys are the only things that are not painted. So if they're voted on, or if I just decide to paint them one day, before I get more Orcs coming in, probably from the Combat Patrol box magazine, then they'll all be painted. Same with Admech, same with Jason the Colson. So as I'm getting the stuff in, they're getting painted up. That's, you know, that's what I'm thinking with all that. Now obviously, I said earlier, I can either focus on painting, or I can focus on getting all these jobs done, focus on building, and then until there's, and I do need to probably get some more paint done, because there's a lot of stuff already built that needs to be painted. But I mean, I still need to get the Space Marine Codex, and I missed the Dark Angel box. I missed it. I didn't really miss it. I saw it there and it was priced up, and it was like, okay, and I was umming and ahhing, and then I didn't bother getting it in the end, and then it was gone. So I'm not annoyed, because I didn't really want another 10 Terminators, but you know, it is what it is. So that's all of the questions for this week. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring down and show you the vote. So those of you who don't know what the vote is, I show you a host of models, and you guys vote on what you want me to paint for next Monday's painting video. You can vote on as much as you like. Don't say I vote for everything, because it won't count. But you can say I vote for any of the Space Marines, or any of the Orcs, or any of the Tyranids, or any of the Eldari, or any of the Necrons, you know, that type of thing. You can vote for more than one thing. If you're not sure on what something's called, because they have some really weird names, give me a description of it, okay? There is no Chaos Space Marines in it this week, because Chaos Space Marines won last week, which was the Lord painted up on Monday, which, you know, I'm very pleased with, and that's done. I just need to build that box of Terminators to go with him now. Yeah, and on Friday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll check the votes, and whoever's won the vote gets painted up for Monday's painting video. In the event of a tie, I do a dice roll. Now, there is 2 other options you can vote for. One is the wild card, which you'll find out if it wins, and the other one is Creator's Choice. And what that is, if that wins, then I pick a model and then paint it. It was a hard decision for me, because I want to paint everything. But anyway, I'm going to bring you down and show you the models. Right, so we have Night Spinner. We have the Spirit Seer and Wraith Guard, which are these guys here. We have the Eliminators, which are Space Marines. We have Pink Horrors, we have these lovely ladies, Sisters Silence, I can't remember what they're called now. We have the Biologist from 10th edition Leviathan box. We have the Librarian from 10th edition Leviathan box. I think that's actually the first time he's actually been in the vote. We have Deathwing Knights. I know some people will say, oh, but the new ones are coming. These ones still need to be painted, my friends. Tyranny Warriors. We have Hexbrax. That's the only Drakkari model I have. That's what the question was asked on about earlier. We have the Storm Boys. We have the Neophyte Hybrids from the Genesis Cults. Let's just go with a funny little standard. We have the Plasmancer for Necrons. We have the High Marshal for Admech. We have the Shield Captain for Custodes. We have Dr. Octopus. I wasn't sure to swap him out and leave him in there. I said no, I'll leave him in there for this week. We have a Biovore for Tyranids. We have Von Ryan Leapers, which I actually should really take them out because the Combat Patrol magazine has another 3 in the second issue, I think. So that'd be just cool to do all in one go. We have the Neuro Tyrant. We have Eldari Wraithlord. And we have the Necron Doomstalker. So there we have it, guys. This is some nice models in there. Some new models that have been built over the last week or so. There's some models that just need to get some paint on them. It's a tough decision. So yeah, if you have any questions for me, guys, chuck a comment below and I'll answer it next week. Or you can go on to Unique Wargaming Train Facebook page. There's a messenger button there. You can contact me via messenger, as a good few of you do. Any comments or you know, thoughts about brushes that, you know, brushes questions I answered, or any other questions I answered. Anything you want to add to about data slate change, because there's so much on there. I only cover a little bit because I'm not interested in all of it. I'm only interested in little sections of it for the armies that I have at the moment. Check on below. Everyone, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you've seen this for the first time, hit the subscribe button, guys. It costs you absolutely nothing. Turn your notifications so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube, share this video with more people and makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. Because it's absolutely amazing community of you guys that come to this channel. Absolutely fantastic, you know. Massive thumbs up to all of you. 7:45 now, which is actually bonkers, and I absolutely love it. Thank you, guys. So until next time, take it easy, guys.